Adam Clymer. That's weird, isn't it? I'm not saying we hammer Robert Byrd. I'm not. Forgive. Forgive. He might have changed. I'm not his judge. He's dead. He didn't hurt me or my family. But we shouldn't whitewash a life either. In my opinion, Clinton, and to a certain extent Obama, did just that. The hypocrisy here of labeling conservatives racist because you want U.S. law enforced, the border secured, while excusing or ignoring actual racist comments and actions up until the point you're 50, up into including being an active member of the Klan, is obscene. It's obscene. He may have been a good guy when he died. I don't know. I don't know. I don't judge him. That's fine. I thought he had some good things that he did late in life, but I think we should point out and remember all the really, 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 really bad things too. The head of the Department of Justice has called us a nation of cowards because of our racism. Could we spend a few minutes on that one next? It kills me that the people who are running our country right now really they despise the Founding Fathers. They're the first to point out they were slave owners and racists and everything else. And yet when Robert Byrd dies, they're the first to say, that was fleeting, no big deal. Really? Lynching people? No big deal. Burning crosses? No big deal. Democratic Party Bill Clinton, summing up Robert Byrd's Klan years as, quoting, a country boy from the hills and hollows of West Virginia just trying to get elected. The implication there, should be pretty insulting to the people of West Virginia. But they and we have all been insulted before on race. Remember what Attorney General Eric Holder has said, that I'll let him sum it up for you.
Though this nation has proudly thought of itself as a ethnic melting pot, in things racial, we have always been, and we, I believe, continue to be, in too many ways, essentially a nation of cowards.
Is that who you are? Is that who America is? A nation of cowards. I've never heard that. We are a nation of imperfect human beings who have struggled and continue to struggle to overcome our shortcomings. We recognize our wrongs, or we try to, sometimes very, very late, and we try to right them. We face our history, we deal with it, and we try to make a better future for ourselves and our children. But we don't live in the past, we learn from the past. Progressives like Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, on the other hand, have been trying to erase our history, create problems where none exist, ignore problems where they do exist. It seems to me a pretty good case of cowardice can be made right now against the DOJ for dropping the case of voter intimidation against the new Black Panthers. Do you remember this scene in Philadelphia at the polling site? This is 2008. Here's a Black Panther. Look at this. Like he's in military garb. Here he is with a nightstick. They're calling out racial slurs to voters. Okay? Now, if we were a nation of cowards, what would we do here? What would we do? We wouldn't have stopped this the last time this occurred, because the nation of cowards wouldn't have stopped it. But this scene seems familiar. Watch this. Oh yeah, that's right. The Klan. Not a nightstick, a noose. Voting night. Same crime, race reversed. The difference now is in the content of character of those in power. Those who have the ability to stop this kind of racism because they have seen it in the past. They might have read about it in the past. Intimidation, white or black, is wrong. Wrong. Is there anybody this time around that will do anything about it? Is this the lesson we learned from Martin Luther King? I don't think so. But then again, I don't think it's hijacking his legacy to say that. This is exactly what that man fought against. Back in a minute. president is going to go file suit against Arizona for all in the name of social justice. Social justice is a buzzword that the left went crazy on when I talked about it, because they know I'm on to them. Social justice can be a good thing, but more importantly, it is the key word progressives use for redistribution of wealth and other progressive agenda issues like immigration. That's what's hitting our churches right now. There was a big feature in the New York Times that highlighted one Reverend, John W. Bowie, who knows it's a hard sell to the people in his neighborhood, the idea that they should support changing immigration laws, but gosh darn it, he's trying nonetheless. On the 4th of July, he was preaching to his congregation to support an overhaul of immigration laws that, quote, lets the undocumented come out of the shadows. He says all 13 colonies were made up of illegal aliens. They were? Well, he's not the only one preaching this. The Gamaliel Foundation is now urging churches, maybe your church, to press amnesty for illegals. They call it, quote, civil rights for all immigrants and worker protection and, quote, the end of forced separation of immigrant families. And you don't want immigrants to live under unjust policies and to, quote, live in a constant state of fear. Notice the one word left off here, and that is the word illegal. If they weren't here illegally, nobody would have to worry about any of these things. But let's not let logic get in the way. Why would you do that? And who is Gamaliel, by the way? Why are they so interested in the progressive agenda? Well, the Gamaliel Foundation might be interested because, George Soros and his Open Society Institute has donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Gamaliel Foundation. Soros also gave $100,000 to Catholics in Alliance for the Common Good, another group pushing for Obama's immigration reform, who believe hate crimes against illegals are on the rise because, quote, violent language about immigrants abounds in the media. Really? I thought it was sheriffs who are in trouble now in Arizona. By the way, the latest fellow at the George Soros Open Society Institute is Richard Znick. He is an evangelical leader and president of the New Evangelical Partnership for the Common Good. They call the Arizona immigration law anti-immigrant. And not only are they pushing for immigration reform, but environmental reform and nuclear disarmament and pretty much everything else that is on President Obama's agenda. Progressives know that it is an uphill battle, especially in a socially conservative church, but they're doing it anyway because, as progressives have learned, patience and persistence are the keys. That's why you have to remain vigilant. You have to reconnect with God and faith and know what you truly believe in. You have to investigate what your church means when they say social justice. Let me ask you this question. What did your pastor or your priest or your rabbi or any of them, what did they talk about in the service of Independence Day? What was the message in your church? Was it individual freedom? Was it individual responsibility? See, there is no such thing as collective salvation. That is the lie the progressives tried to teach and tried to put in and did successfully put into many of our churches around the turn of last century. Collective salvation. Boy, where have I read that story before? Collective salvation. Give me the glory. I'll save them all. There's no such thing as collective salvation. There's no such thing as collective rights. You have rights as a human. You have rights as an individual. But with those rights come responsibilities. We'll be held responsible upstairs as we are held responsible, or we should be held responsible, for the things that we do here. What did your pastor, priest, what did your person who is one with the mountain talk about this last Independence Day? Was it social justice and collective rights or individual liberty? You call your pastor and you tell them, we need to learn individual liberty again. We have a couple of things coming for you. Friday, we've been going through textbooks, and on Friday, I'm going to show you the things that are in the textbooks that are just wrong. Heroes that are villains, and villains that may have some heroic patterns in them. We'll correct that history. It's driving people in the elite, the university elites and the media elites nuts. It's driving them crazy. That we're giving you an opportunity to learn, and it's something that we've expanded at glennbeck.com with our Insider Extreme. It is now Beck University, just to drive them crazy. Some lectures on faith, hope, and charity from some amazing, amazing educators. Join me at glennbeck.com. From New York, good night, America.